Yeah, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing checking back in with y'all, man. What's happening? Just wanted to chime in on this, man. I really been like searching, trying to see what are the potential opponents for, or possible opponents for Terence Crawford in his next fight. Is he even going to fight in 2020? I don't know. There's a whole lot of different questions when it comes to Terence Crawford and his next opponent, or the lack thereof. Now, we talked about how important it is for Terence Crawford to fight a significant fight next. It's very, very important when you look at the level of competition that he's faced up until now. You know, more particularly in the welterweight division. We're going to keep it welterweight. You know what I'm saying? You can go back to Gamboa. You can go back to Victor Postar. You can go back to, you know, all that other shit. But we want to talk about just welterweight and the lack of high-level elite competition. And when you look at all the PBC guys, if you look at the Keith Thurmans, the Sean Porters, Manny Pacquiao when he was there, Errol Spence Jr., Danny Garcia, you know, Yordenis Ugas, all of these guys have been fighting. You know, one of the biggest misconception is that ain't nobody fighting. Like, these guys have been fighting. We done had multiple variations of matchups between the top 10 welterweights currently. You know what I'm saying? The only guy that's missing is Terence Crawford. The only person that ain't been in the mix is Terence Crawford. Now, you can say, oh, you know, these guys ducking him, which I don't believe, because it's, truth be told, it's tougher matchups happening in PBC as opposed to a Terence Crawford. You know, you can say he's pound for pound the most skillful. You can say all that, very, very, very skilled fighter, but styles make fights. These guys are taking very, you know, tougher matchups than Terence Crawford. Sean Porter versus Errol Spence. I feel like Errol Spence was a tougher matchup for Sean Porter than Terence Crawford would be. You know what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. So these guys are mixing it up. The only person that's not fighting the top elite level competition is Terence Crawford. So I say that to say this: his next fight has to be a significant guy. It has to be somebody like a top tier welterweight, somebody that really commands a certain level of respect for Terence Crawford, you know, at the 147-pound division. It gotta be something that's gonna make the fans move. You know, I looked at the list of possible opponents. I seen Sergey Lipinets, which actually Sergey Lipinets is about to fight for the IBF Eliminator versus y'all know that man name that fought. I still can't say that dude name, man. The dude that fought Luis Collazo, the undefeated Russian cat. You know what I'm saying? He's about to fight him for the IBF Eliminator to become Errol Spence's mandatory. You know, he could also fight Luis Collazo. He could fight the Ray Robinson guy. It's a couple of other dudes on there, but nobody that stands out that make you think, oh man, this is a tough fight. This is a test. This is something that's going to show us where Terence Crawford is, you know, compared to the other top welterweights. You know, so it's very important for him to fight a significant fight next. And I just want to know, like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? I feel like Terence Crawford needs to put a lot of pressure on Bob Arum right now. Like, right now, this is the time for Terence Crawford to put an immense amount of pressure on Bob Arum and get him some fights. Get him a fight. Because it's a couple of different reasons why he needs to make the next fight a great fight. Number one, you got the fans that's growing impatient with seeing him in these lopsided fights where it's really not no competition. We don't know. I mean, we already know the outcome of the fight. It really ain't no competitiveness going on. That's one reason. The next reason is that if the buildup is to get that big payday versus Errol Spence, or the buildup is to have that big mega fight versus Errol Spence, the fans need to know if Terence Crawford really on that level. We need to know how you do versus an elite welterweight. We don't know because, you know, number one, on Terence Crawford end, he need to like sharpen up and be prepared for somebody like Errol, who has actually been facing elite competition and been through the fight, been battle tested. Terence Crawford for himself needs to be prepared for that. And I feel like the only way to do that is by fighting those top tier guys. And then also for the fans, like I said, we need to know that we paying for the 2 best welterweights in the division. If this is supposed to be sold as this big, best fight in boxing, biggest mega welterweight fight, all this shit, we need to know if Terence Crawford really that. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't know. We haven't seen him in there with nobody like that, so we don't know. So I'm genuinely asking you guys, like, what do y'all like? What can Terence Crawford do to make a fight happen? I mean, I don't even know if he putting pressure on Bob Arum like that. Now, I'm just speaking from the outside looking in. He don't seem like that type of guy. He just seemed like the type of guy that's just going to take whatever Bob Arum give him. Like, Terence Crawford don't strike me as the type of dude that's like, look, man, give me, like, walking up in the Bob Arum office, like, give me this fight right now or else. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't strike me as that type of dude, you feel me? He just seems like he take whatever they give him. As long as they pay him what the contract amount say, he cool. Like, it's like he don't give a fuck who they give him. So that's why I feel like Bob Arum really moving him the way he move him, you know what I'm saying? Because he really ain't going to get too much, like, backlash or any type of resistance from Terence Crawford and his team. It's just like they just care about that contractual $3 million that they going to get every fight. Just like Canelo Alvarez. Canelo, he going to make the same no matter what. That's why he fighting who he fighting, you know what I'm saying? Fighting old motherfuckers that have already been knocked out multiple times, that have already been beat multiple times and see, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter because he gonna get paid the same amount. He just want to fight anybody. It don't matter, you know what I'm saying? So, like, what do you think Terence Crawford can do to get a fight? What do you think Top Rank is not doing? Why are the PBC guys actually in competitive fights? Why are they able to make these really good fights? All the top welterweights have been fighting and mixing it up, and Terence Crawford is not in the mix. Like, what is Top Rank doing and what are they not doing? What does Terence Crawford need to do? I'm curious, man, because I need to know who he gonna fight next, and will it be a top opponent, man? Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. Contender regime, boxing, I'll holler at y'all boys, man.